I usually finish recording these short episodes a few days before they get published, so it's no wonder I missed discussing a Nazi in our nation's parliament in my last episode, when I discussed Zelensky's visit. But what an absolute spectacle. That was an utter embarrassment. I can't think of a more egregious mistake for someone to make than inviting a literal SS Nazi to Parliament and then allowing everyone to give him a standing ovation. Good God, my friends. There have been liberal scandals that have come from corruption, arrogance, and a whole lot of incompetence, but this was the worst thing I have seen. On the international stage, even with Trudeau as our leader, this was unforgivable. First the world was laughing at us, now they're shaking their heads in disgust. It's truly unbelievable. This may have been the final nail in the Liberal Party's coffin. I just don't see them recovering from this. Anyhow, I'm looking at changing the number of episodes I publish, but making these episodes longer. Not too much longer, though. I don't want you to get sick of me. More importantly, I don't want to get sick of hearing myself or sick of doing this show. So, I was thinking we may go monthly, perhaps the last Sunday of every month, but that won't happen until November. Let me know in the comments on whichever platform you're listening on. Let me know how long my monthly episodes should be. How long can you tolerate listening to me? Did you wear your orange shirt last week? I didn't. Frankly, I'm not convinced. I'm definitely not doubting the trauma of residential schools and how those children were treated. It was atrocious. But was it genocide? Absolutely not. And didn't this new holiday come after bodies being allegedly found at a Kamloops school, yet no bodies have been exhumed? Why is that? They're relying on scans of the ground, which many people have said could be anything. Maybe when they show me some evidence, I'll start wearing an orange shirt. I have an idea. Since our government enjoys throwing money out the window, why don't we just pay them $1 billion to shut the fuck up? I suppose the problem with that is that they won't. They'll just keep going and asking for more. That's how it happens. It's just never good enough, is it? We offer an inch and they expect another mile. Thanksgiving is coming up. I have to say it's one of the Western traditions I really like, next to Halloween, which is also coming up. I think most of us would be thankful if that idiot Justin Trudeau resigned. The ways in which he has absolutely destroyed this country in 8 years is sad. The biggest issue facing most Canadians right now is housing. People are literally being forced out onto the street in some cases. On Thanksgiving, nonetheless. What I want you to do this Thanksgiving, if you can find it within yourselves, is to help someone less fortunate. Perhaps buy a homeless person a coffee or a cheeseburger. But more importantly, my friends, make sure not to tell anyone. Don't advertise your good deed, just do it. Do it for that person you're helping and that person alone. Can you do that for me this weekend? That is the kind of thing we need more of, isn't it? Really. Imagine a world where we all just did small good deeds without needing recognition or a pat on the back. We really need to start building the kind of world we want to see. If more of us did small things, the outcomes would be huge. Anyways, here's a CBC News headline from October 1st. It reads, Ontario minimum wage rises to $16.55 an hour. Advocates say still not a living wage. How do you feel about minimum wage laws? I know a lot of conservative types take issue with it, but I'm on the fence. Really, I am. With costs of living the way it is, I don't even think $16.55 per hour is a good wage, not in this climate. But what do we do? I understand that if we keep increasing minimum wage, it will eventually trickle down and make the costs of living even higher. It's really a double-edged sword, isn't it? What I do know is that more people than ever in this country are struggling to get by. Food bank usage is at historic levels, homelessness is at historic levels, rent and mortgage prices are decimating people. Yet here we are, sending billions more to Ukraine. I rant about this all of the time. You might be sick of hearing it, but I'm sick of seeing it. As Canadians struggle, billions of their money is being funneled into a losing war. The whole thing, like many other wars supported by us, is probably just a giant money laundering scheme. Think about it, we send billions to contractors, politicians and companies in Ukraine, and probably millions of it gets siphoned off by criminals. We need to stop this. Don't you wish we could do something like the Americans did just this week? Republicans, led by Matt Gaetz, ousted their Speaker of the House. That Kevin McCarthy idiot approved more spending for Ukraine and capitulated to the Biden administration. So like true patriots, the MAGA Republicans ousted the prick. Now there's talk that they might appoint Donald Trump as Speaker. Wouldn't that be something? I vote yes to Trump as Speaker in the United States, and I vote no to Justin Trudeau continuing to be our Prime Minister. Speaking of which, there is a great article at postcanadian.com this month that posits and implies that Justin Trudeau might actually be a psychopath. What do you think? I think it's highly possible, my friends. What is also possible is the death of Manitoba. Did you hear? They elected a guy named Wab Kinew, or Kinew, or whatever, who is apparently the first Indigenous Premier in Canada's history. It also happens he has been accused of all sorts of horrible things. He also has some gangster rap under his belt from what I have heard. The guy is literally worse than what Donald Trump ever could be. Look him up. It's unreal. Anyhow, friends, until next time,